Hi, everybody. I'm back. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, but I had an interview to do. I'm waiting to see who's coming on in the chat. Don't see anybody yet. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Sorry, I'm a little late. I will stay 5 minutes extra so that you get the full hour in. So, what's the first question?
A message from my pal Pete, who died
Unexpectedly while on a long solo camping trip 1 year ago.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is Laura, and she'd like a message from her good friend Pete, who died unexpectedly on a camping trip, I guess. Okay, so let's see. I think I'll let Spirit choose all the cards, because why not? Okay. Sorry I'm a little late. This is what it is. Okay. Laura, this is the message from Pete to you. Okay. So the cards are the young man, the scythe, you're right in the middle, the rider, and then the cross. And I'm going to draw clarifiers on the cross. So I think that Laura, he's acknowledging that he was like cut down suddenly, cut down fast. So he's acknowledging that. He's got you in the middle, so he is thinking of you. And he's got a message for you that has to do with the pain that you feel around his leaving. And I'm going to draw a couple of clarifiers on that. He's saying, don't remember how I passed. Remember the fun that we had. Clover's the card for fun. And be happy when you think of me. That's a beautiful message. So that's his message for you. I'm sorry for your loss.
Cutie Pie. If I retire this June, will the universe help me find ways of supporting myself comfortably, or should I try and push through this career for 3 more years, risking my health and sanity?
Okay, Cutie Pie says, if she retires soon, this June, will Spirit sort of provide for her, or should she stay another 3 years, risking her mind and her sanity? I think you have the answer. I mean, it doesn't sound good to be risking your health and your sanity. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you retiring, and then I'll pull 3 cards for you staying there another 3 years. As a retired person, I cannot recommend it highly enough. Just saying. Okay. Well, I mean, the cards really are not that bad either way. These are the cards for retiring. We have the heart, we have Clover, and we have Crossroads. And I mean, I really like this line very much. The heart, doing what you love. Clover, being happy, doing some kind of alternative thing that could technically bring you in money, but is doing something different than what you do now. I think that's retirement is okay. I think you would be provided for if you do your part to help the universe provide for you. And then staying there, we have the dog, we have the lily, and we have the young woman. I think it's about, you might want to get a therapist. It's that bad that your sanity would be at risk. So, having people to talk to so that you can keep your peace and not have it age you before your time. You want to be able to, enjoy your retirement. So, but if I had to pick a line, I would pick leaving in June, and then but making a plan. When I retired, trust me, I had a plan in place for what I was going to do, and that made all the difference. Okay, best of luck.
Will James' finances improve this year?
Okay, James wants to know. Sorry, I dropped a card. James wants to know if his finances will improve this year. Okay, just making sure the energy is clear for you, James. And we're going to look for the fish because that's the card for finances. Okay. Okay, so this stands for your finances. Okay, so it's interesting because we've got the young woman, we've got the garden, we've got the fish for finances, the whip, and the coffin. You know, not to sound like somebody's mother, but I mean, I'm kind of old enough to be somebody's grandmother, so I guess I can say it. I think that you want to maybe spend less time out and about socializing, because that's what these cards are about, and more time um, being disciplined and focused in your work. Uh, I feel like that would be quite the new leaf for you because this is a card for transformation. So, you know, nothing worth doing is easy. You have to apply yourself. I think your finances will improve if you start taking your financial health seriously and maybe stop going out so much. Just saying. Okay.
This is from our friend Kat. Her husband's been sick since May on the mend, but experiencing things like out of body or premonitions. He's going to the doctor about it. Is this concerning? Is there a psychic component to this?
Okay, Kat says her husband has been ill, but he's gotten better, but he's been having some out of body experiences that she wants to know what that's about. What is that? You know, is it psychiatric? Is it psychic? What's going on with him? So I think what I'm going to do is, how old a man would you say he is? Trying to decide which card I'm going to use. I'm going to use the older man card, and I'm just going to see what's around him. Normally, you know, well, let's just see. Okay, so this is going to stand for your husband, Kat. And we have the anchor, we have birds, there's your husband, we have the tree, and we have, I'm going to say you. So interesting that you both show up. I think he may have felt sort of stuck, weighted down, having been sick for so long. I'm not, you know, I listen. I'm not going to say that he's not been visited by spirits who want to help him. You know, a spiritual team, so to speak, who are concerned for his health. So yeah, I think it could be something psychic. I do, yes. But I'm glad that he's going to go to the doctor and get everything else ruled out first. But I do think he has a spiritual team who are wanting to help him and anchor him in a good way as opposed to in a weighed down way.
Jason wants to know if his lawsuit will pay out over $2 million in 2025. It's over a fall that he had.
Jason wants to know if his lawsuit will pay out. And I guess I suspect that what he really wants to know is that amount, because why I mentioned that amount. Will the lawsuit pay him $2 million for a fall that he took? So I'm going to look for the tower. That will stand for the court, the judge, whoever decides these things. And we'll see what that's going to look like. It's the tower. Okay. Well, you know what? Gotta say, we have the stork, we have birds, we have Tower, Key, Lily. To whatever extent this is like a committee decision, like a jury type of thing, which was what this card feels like to me. This is great. First of all, we have the stork, positive change in this situation for you. This feels very much like a committee or a jury or whatever who are deciding this. And then the last two cards are the Key and the Lily. Well, you can't beat that. Key is you get what you want, and Lily, you will have peace of mind. I can mirror this last card with this first card, stork, positive change, and you will feel really happy with whatever the settlement is. So congratulations in advance. I'm sorry that it had to happen that way, but I think you'll be happy with the settlement.
A message from Spirit for B.
Okay, a message from Spirit for B. So I'm just going to let the cards decide. So we have the cross, the anchor, the fox, the house, and the star. So B, it sounds as though you have been weighed down in a way that does not feel good. So Spirit is acknowledging that, but they're also saying, you know, you've got this. You have what you need. You have the skill set that you need to handle the things that have been thrown at you, and that you know, moving forward, you know, the house can be your house where you live, but it's also your body. So that moving forward, it looks like things will be better because this is the future. So I think things are going to be okay. But the bottom line really is that you have the wherewithal to handle anything that's thrown at you. That's what they want you to know. And of course, they're supporting you in spirit.
Carmen wants a reading for her nephew, Brendan.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. Mia, when will I be back in a relationship with the man I desire to reconnect with?
Okay. That's always an interesting question. But let's see what the cards have to say. So I'm going to look for the heart, and that will stand for that particular relationship with that particular person. And this is Maria?
Mia.
Oh, Mia, sorry. Mia. Okay, let me look for the heart and see what we get. Okay, so this is the relationship with that person. Well, you know, normally I would say relationships end for a reason and people move on. However, the cards would like me to say something else. So we have the dog, we have the whip, the heart, the clover, and the letter. Okay. You know, the dog, let me just say, this is a card about trust, and it's a card about friendship. So, to whatever degree trust and loyalty and friendship between you was problematic, the whip is indicating that. This is, you know, the whip is a card for, like, for example, arguments and stuff like that. But the other cards, we have clover and we have the letter. I think that if you reached out to this person, but in a very light and casual way, it could rekindle at the very least a friendship, because I can mirror these two cards together. I think it would be well received, but I also think that the whip mirrors Clover. And Clover's a great card, but it's also kind of short term. And if there were arguments back and forth, if that's like the nature of your relationship, and some people will say that, oh, yeah, we just bicker and bitch back and forth. It's just how we are. Um, mm, then, you might want to think twice because that'll take years off your life, just living like that. So I think there could be a reconnection, whether it's long term, I doubt, because Clover is short term.
Ingra, were the two I saw my guardian angels?
Wait, what?
Were the two I saw my guardian angels?
Who's asking this?
Ingra.
Ingra is asking, this is literally the question. Were the two I saw my guardian angels? Now, I don't love yes, no questions, but I can ask the cards. And I'm going to pull 3 cards for this. Because, either yes or no. I'm going to say yes. A tree is kind of a sheltering thing, right? And you may be in need of guardian angels. There may be questions that you have in your life. There may be things you're going through, etc. But the final card is the sun. So I'm going to say yes, that you are under the sheltering arms, the embracing arms of guardian angels. So yes, I would say that's what you sensed.
I had another question on transgender rights by Anna.
No, but what's the question? No, can't answer that. Unless the question, well, I don't know what the question is.
Yeah. Karen, will my son get a permanent job?
Karen wants to know if her son will get a permanent job. So we're going to look for the fox for your son. The fox stands for job. Okay. Sorry, it was steep in the deck, so all right, and then I'm going to pull a clarifier. Okay. So we have the anchor, the moon, the fox, the whip, and the book. So here's what I'm going to say. This is also a job card, actually. So it's kind of good that it showed up. We have both this and the fox show up. So, yes, there will be a permanent job. Now, the second card is the moon. And the moon is making me, think this is the career card, which is why I'm also thinking it's a permanent job. Career and job are not always the same thing. But when the moon shows up, this is going to be a job that can last a long time. That is something that he's proud to say that he does with that moon card. So I like that. The thing is that the whip pops up, and the whip is the card for hard work. So it's important that he look for the right job in the right field, and that he present himself in his resume in such a way that he'll be attractive. And that, sometimes that takes some work, crafting the right resume. Now, the card at the end is the line. It's the book. End of the line is the book. I've been doing this all day, sorry. And the book is about things we don't know. So I drew a clarifier, and yes, there will be a permanent job in a field that he is really happy with. Just, I would advise to really polish that resume to bring the right job to him.
Is it best for Amy to move to France or stay in Wisconsin?
Okay. Amy wants to know whether she'd be better off moving to France or staying in Wisconsin. Personally, I'd pick France, but that's just me. I'm going to pull 3 cards for each place, and let's see what the cards say. Okay, so France, and then Wisconsin. I mean, both places have cheese, right? That's a good thing. Well, you know what? The good news is it's kind of a win-win. For France, we have the bouquet, the bear, and the house. I think you would feel like, you landed in clover if you went to France. Bouquet is a great card. I think you would feel powerful even in France. So I like that. And at home. So there you go. Wisconsin's not bad either, though, because we have the lily, we have the older man, and then we have this younger woman. So I don't know if you have familial attachments in Wisconsin that might keep you there, and that would make you feel more settled if you were nearer these people than away from them. But I really actually think you could toss a coin, and I think you'd be happy in either place. Okay.
Maha's dad passed away a year ago. His house has been on the market since April. Will it sell this coming spring?
What's the name?
Maha.
Maha's dad passed, and the house is on the market. And the question is, will it sell this spring? Will that house sell this spring? I'm going to look for the house, and let's see if there's any kind of movement cards around that. And I'm sorry for your loss. Okay, so we're looking for the house. Okay, so this stands for your dad's house. Okay, so we have the tree, we have the coffin, we have the house, the star, and clover. So here's what I think. I mean, I think it may very well be an old house, and I feel like there are renovations that either you've made or you will need to make, because this is the card for transformation. But I think moving forward, yes, I think that the house will sell in the spring, and I think it'll sell fast. And I think you'll be happy with the price that you get for it. Yes.
Shania, am I going to be able to take care of my family the way I want financially?
How do you spell her name?
Shanya.
Okay. Shania is asking, will she be able to take care of her family the way that she'd like to financially? My cards got all, I don't know, upside down and backwards and front. I mean, okay. So let's look for the fish, because that's money, that's finances. Will you have the money that you need to support your family financially? Okay. This is for Shania. And we're looking for fish. Okay, so this stands for your finances. Okay, so we have crossroads, we have the moon, we have the fish that stands for finances, we have the anchor, and we have the young woman. I'm going to say, yes, you'll have the money, but I also think you might have to pick up a second job, do something to moonlight, to really make those ends meet and make yourself feel secure. But I think it's possible, yes.
When is Esther's money problem going to resolve?
I don't know. I mean, I can't do timing.
Spirit Dragon Tarot. I'd like to know how things are going with my current path. Spirit Dragon Tarot.
All right, listen, Spirit Dragon Tarot. Given your name, I'm gonna give you a little education here. that question is so nebulous that I mean, maybe it's a taroistic kind of question. And then Lenormand's saying, wait, what? But I'm going to try. So the question is what?
How are things going with their path?
How are things going with your path? So you know what? The card for path is moon. Like your purpose, right? So I'm gonna ask I'm gonna ask it in the Lenormand kind of way. Are you following the right path? How about that? Okay. So let's look for the moon and see if you are on your path. Okay, so we have the lily, the snake, the moon, that's for your path, the tower, and garden. Well, here's what I want to say. We all would like to live a life of peace and ease, but as the expression goes, into every life, a little rain must fall. Here's your rain. So don't think that this is some big, huge, horrible thing. It just means that just because a path doesn't look smooth, it doesn't mean that it's not the right path. I think that you want to really find a balance between being around other people and being influenced by other people, which is this, and keeping your own counsel. Because, hold on, believe it or not, I think you will find peace and solace in nature and among other people. And I think that if you spend too much time on your own, you're going to get in your head and you're going to start questioning yourself in ways that you don't need to question. So I would say be out among people and nature, and your path will become clear to you. But I think the only thing that will get in the way for you is you. So, I mean, better you than somebody else, right? So that's good.
Will DK's daughter reunite with her?
Okay, DK wants to know if their daughter will reunite with them. So I'm going to look for the young woman card, and that will stand for your daughter, and we will look and see, what she's thinking around this issue, because it takes two to reunite, right? Okay. So I'm going to look for the young woman. Okay, we have the fox, the clouds, here's your daughter, the rider, and the sun. Listen, here's the thing. As is true so often with so many, relationships are hard, especially relationships between adult children and their parents. And I'm going to say that to date, like something happened, right, that made your daughter not trust you. I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm not saying that you did anything necessarily, but maybe you did. I don't know. But they don't trust you. They doubt your intentions, and they don't trust you. That said, we have the rider and the sun as our other cards, and I do think that in time, I am so backwards, I don't know which. In time, you will get a message, and I think that it will help towards the reconciliation. But I suspect that your daughter will want you to admit and acknowledge whatever it is that she thinks that you did that was not above board, or just not honest. And I think once you can work that situation through, things will be better. So you may very well get a message saying, well, we need to talk about the elephant in the room that you don't want to ever talk about, Mom. But if you're willing to talk about that elephant in the room, I do see things improving. Good luck. It's hard.
Nat, would moving to Colorado be beneficial in retirement?
See, I like how they phrased that question.
Mhm.
What's her name?
Nat.
Nat, good job phrasing the question the right way. The question was, will a move to Colorado be beneficial in retirement? So let's look for the ship. We are, infusing that with the energy of a move to Colorado during your retirement or for after your retirement. Okay, so let's see what we get. We're looking for the ship. Boy, I was deep in the deck. Okay, so this is a move to Colorado. Oh yeah, totally you should do it. Totally you should do it. We have the lily, the tree, the ship, the star, and the anchor. I really love this for you. I think you will find a peaceful time there. This is, by the way, also the card for retirement. So that's great. And I can mirror it with the last card. So you will feel comfortable and secure in your retirement in Colorado. It will be a place, they've got a kind of healthy lifestyle vibe there like they do here in California. So take advantage of that. And I think you'll live a long life in retirement in Colorado. So yeah, totally, totally you should do it.
Cindy, whether or not she should move this year.
There are no shoulds, Cindy, in Lenormand. So we will look at how will it be if you move this year? That's how you should ask that question. Sorry, I taught for 30 years, so I'm always going to be a teacher, even though this is not a teaching channel, but sometimes I can't help myself. So how will it be if Cindy moves this year? This year. So we're going to look for the ship. And how will it be for Cindy if she moves this year? Deep in the deck. So this is the move, Cindy. Yes, it'll be great. Heart, ring, ship, child, key. I love this. So I think you'll love it. I think you will go in with both feet committed to this move. It's something really new for you. And the key is it's like the answer. So it feels like it's the next step in your life. Absolutely. It looks good for a move this year.
General for Linda.
Okay, Linda would like a general reading. Okay. So I don't need a significator. I'm just going to let Spirit pick all the cards. So I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. But anyway, we have clouds, we have tree, we have the book in the middle, the star, and then the moon. Linda, it's Linda, right? You would do well when you go to a reader to not say, oh, show me whatever. have an area of your life that you want me to look at, because what I find interesting is the card that's in the middle. I get why you gave me a general question, because you don't know what to ask. And with the first card being clouds, I feel like there's a lot of indecision, confusion, just being up in the air about your purpose, because this is the last card. So I can always mirror the first card with the last card. Now, the second card is the tree, and this is the card for health. But remember, it's health in all facets: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health. So if you're feeling confused about direction and what to do, where to go, maybe it might be not a bad idea to reach out to get some guidance and some support. And I don't mean from a psychic medium. I mean, from a counselor perhaps, because I think that they can be helpful to you in you figuring out what your path is, because it's very clear that right now you're like, I don't know what to do. So and when I say counselor, that could be psychological, it could be career, right? Vocational, anything that you feel you need help on. Get an expert to ask you some leading questions that could bring you to your answer.
Heidi, what's it about taking a prescription drug?
I'm not a doctor. Heidi, you're asking me about taking a prescription drug. Do I look like you see a degree on my wall, or you see a bunch of daffodils? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a financial advisor.
Will Cindy's brother Mike get a full-time job?
Will Cindy's brother Mike get a full-time job? Okay, so Mike. Let's look for the job card, and we're going to look for the fox. And this is an eye towards looking at Mike and his job prospects. Okay, so we're looking for the fox, and we're looking to see if Mike will find a full-time job. Okay, so this will stand for a full-time job. Okay, so we have the older man, we have the older woman, we have the fox, we have the scales, and we have the ring. The thing about it is, while there may be people pressuring Mike to get a full-time job, Mike does not want to just settle for anything. He really wants to have a job that pays him what he thinks he's worth and gives him work that makes him, that he feels is meaningful, that he can be committed to. So this could take some time, but I think eventually, yeah, he'll find the thing that he wants to do. But he's discriminating in what he will or won't do. He's not going to just take anything because it's 9 to 5. He's not going to do that.
Positive talk. Will I be financially abundant this year with my ideas selling online?
Positive talk is asking, will I be financially abundant this year by selling my ideas online?
With the idea of selling online.
Oh, with the idea of selling online. Well, so there's two cards that I'm kind of tossing back and forth as to which one that I want to look at, but I think I'm going to use the stars because that will stand for online selling, and we'll see if we see anything financially good around it. I think that's probably the best way to go. Okay, so let me. Okay, so what did I say I was looking for? The stars. Sorry, this is a lot of reading. Okay, stars. I think this is going to be good. We have this older man, the key, the star, the house, and the stork. So if you follow me, you should know by now that sometimes when a person card pops up, it's not a person. It's more an energy. And I actually like this energy because whatever you're selling online, you feel very confident in both your sales ability and whatever it is that you're selling. So I like that yang energy. It's both positive and confident um, in a really reasonable way. So I think that's good. Key, you can't beat the key, right? It's the fraternal twin of the sun. So I think you have found something good that you've hooked into. In the center, this was the online part of it. And obviously, you can do that from home. And stork, positive change. So, positive change, abundance, all of that. So, yeah, I think you'll do well with whatever it is that you're selling online. So good for you.
Leslie did not get a reading this morning, so she came back.
Okay.
Last summer, my house was severely damaged during a hurricane. It's the second time in 31 years. Is it more beneficial spiritually to repair it or sell it?
Okay, I'm going to pull 3 for repair and 3 for sell. Let me tell you something. I went through Hurricane Sandy, which put a big hole in my roof. This is when I lived in New Jersey. So I know the power of nature and hurricanes. Fires are bad and hurricanes are no joke either. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for, this is Leslie,
Yes.
3 cards for repairing and staying, and then 3 cards for selling. You know what? It's kind of a toss up, but we have the book, we have the older man, we have the heart. Now, this is for repairing. The book is about things we don't know. I mean, if, like you said, you've been through it twice, is it going to be another one? Because, climate change is a thing. I don't know whether you have fondness for the house, memories in the house. So that's really something to take into account, right? And then selling, we have the tree, the child, and the lily. And I'm going to say that, for the sake of your mental health, going somewhere new where maybe hurricanes are not a thing might give you more peace of mind. So, it's about weighing the sentimental value of the house with those first 3 cards versus peace of mind moving to somewhere where there are not hurricanes. But I mean, if you move to somewhere where there's not hurricanes, make sure it's not somewhere that has mudslides. You know what I mean? Or earthquakes, because I just think it's about what you value most, whether the memories outweigh the peace of mind of selling would bring you, or vice versa.
Will Christopher be successful pursuing a career in foreign affairs?
Christopher wants to know if he'll be successful in pursuing a career in foreign affairs. Now, I'm going to do something interesting, which is career card is the moon. However, the fox, which is the job card, is also the card for all things foreign. So I think I'm going to use the fox to look at this foreign affairs career. Okay. Who is this, Chris?
Christopher.
Chris, okay. So we're looking for the fox, and that will stand for your foreign affairs career. Okay, not to get political, but I'm just saying. So we have the older woman, we have the tree, the fox, the tower, and the bear. If you go into a career in foreign affairs, the way you phrase that, foreign affairs, it's not like business or anything, it's government. Are you cool with the government that you'd be representing? This is 47, and this is his government. So, if you're cool with that, I wouldn't be, but that's just me. Here's the career. And then we have this older woman in the tree. I think I want to pull a clarifier on the fox itself. I think you would like it, actually. I mean, I'm not saying that working for 47, but I think that you think that you could be a good sort of intermediary, do a good job of interpreting policy and that kind of thing, and that you'd really love it. But I don't know what how new you would be at this. It looks like you'd be kind of new at this. So just bear in mind that if this is the administration that you want to work for, that's fine. Good luck. But don't let yourself, this is a card for naivete, right? Being not really knowing all the ins and outs of something and what would be required of you. So just really be a little bit, be really specific about what it is exactly that you want to do and why. Okay.
Chris would like a message from his son, Chris, who passed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chris, I have to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Chris would like a message from his son, Chris, who passed. So I think I will use the young man card because certainly, the son is younger than the father. And we'll see if he has a message. Okay. A message from Chris Jr. to Chris Sr. Okay, this will stand for your son. Okay, so we have the bouquet, we have the tree, we have your son, we have the scythe, and we have the snake. And I pulled a couple of clarifiers, but I'm not sure. But what he didn't die in a violent way. He may have died in a violent way. But he wants you to know. I pulled a clarifier for this, the scythe, that he's happy. And then I pulled a clarifier on the snake, and it's the lily. So however he passed, he's past that part, if you know what I mean. And he's in a really good place and wants you to know that. And to remember him as happy, that would be a gift to him if you would do that, as opposed to remembering how he passed. Okay.
Do you see Ashley living in New York City?
Let's see. Do I see Ashley living in New York City? Okay. I'm going to pull, it's a yes or no. I'm going to pull 3 cards and see what I get. Hold on. Okay, so we have the stork, the tree, and the coffin. And I'm going to say no. I pulled clarifiers on it, and I got the cross. No, listen, I've lived in New York City before. I grew up in New York City. I was raised in New York City. It's okay. It's great, but it's not nirvana, and I don't think you would find it nirvana. There are lots of places in the country that are closer to nirvana than New York is. I don't see you moving there.
Linda, will my finances improve to fix the house?
Linda's asking if her finances will improve so that she can fix the house. Okay, so I'm going to use fish because that's finances, and we're thinking about that money as going towards fixing of the house. Okay. Okay. So we're looking for fish. Okay, we have moon, cross, fish, birds, and child. You know what? The thing that comes to my mind, I mean, I think this has been tough for you. I think you want the house fixed. You'd like to live somewhere that's nice. I think it kind of plays with your self-esteem that you don't. But I also think that this is a card for finances. Calling in reinforcements, there's all kinds of ways to do it. Like, okay, for example, I have a stepdaughter and she lives in California and her whole family, their house burned down in the fires. And so they put up a GoFundMe. I'm feeling like, is there some kind of, reinforcements you can call in, whether it's through GoFundMe or something else that would help a little bit in raising this money to fix this house. So who among your circle might you appeal to for help? Are there relatives, are there friends, etc.?
Satira, what does Spirit have for me when it comes to love this year?
Okay, Satira is saying, is asking, what does Spirit have for me in regard to love this year? Okay, Satira, so of course, I'm going to use the heart as the significator. Okay. All right, so we're looking for the heart because Satira is looking for love. All right, so we have the anchor, we have a young man, we have the heart, we have the tree, and we have the cross. Sometimes when we're looking for love, we lose sight of the fact that we may have some healing that we need to do first from previous relationships before we can really be good and worthy partners for someone else. So that's what I think. I think that you have been in a relationship or relationships with people who have weighed you down. Maybe they've been immature, and that they've weighed you down and affected your emotional well-being. But I pulled some cards on the cross because that's a card of pain. I'm brushing something off and it's the wrong side because I'm all backwards. Sorry. This is the card for pain, right? And I feel like what you need to do is heal that first before you can move forward and be able to trust someone. Because the worst thing in the world you want to do is meet somebody terrific, layer onto them the behavior of past people that you've been involved with who've hurt you, because that's not fair. So it's important to do your own emotional healing, which is this, and then you'll move forward. And I think then the right person will come. And I love the dog because the dog is is above all, they're not a player. They're loyal. They're consistent. They can stand the test of time. They're not game players. So heal yourself and then watch love come in.
Francine and her husband are thinking of moving to Malta and living as expats. Is that a good idea for them?
Can I come too? Because, okay, let's see. Francine would like to move to Malta with her husband and live as expatriates, expats, as they say. So we're looking for the ship, and this will be, what's her name again? Francine's and her husband's decampment to Malta as expats. Okay, so we're looking for the ship. Okay, so we have the book, the sun, the ship, the clouds, and the moon. So, here's the thing. I don't love that the reading starts with the book. I think there are unknowns that you are not taking into account. In other words, you may know that you want to escape where you are, but there may be unknowns about where you would go to, because we always think grass is greener until we get there and we see, oh yeah, it may be greener, but it smells bad. Do you know what I mean? There are things that you don't know, and I think that the things that you don't know have to do with the nature of Malta. And I mean, it could be anything. I don't know, like maybe it's too small town for you, too insular, too provincial. There's something about the intrinsic nature of Malta that you are not exactly aware of, that and you need to be aware, because I can take the sun and mirror it with these clouds. So it feels a little bit like the grass is greener syndrome. And I'm not saying don't move to Malta as expats. I'm saying do your homework, do your due diligence to make sure that you're not going from the frying pan to the fire, because there's things that you don't know about life in that place that you could find not worth having moved for.
Last one.
Okay, this is the last question.
Vera Diana, may I please have a reading on my business venture?
Yes, Vera's asking me to do a reading on her business venture. And let's see, what do I want to use for that? Business venture. I think I'll use the moon. Okay. Well, this is a great reading to end with. We have fish, we have letter, we have the business venture, that's the moon, we have the heart, and we have the star. I think this is going to go really well for you. I do think that one of the things that you've done really well is put together a really good business plan. I think that over time, because this is the future, over time the business will make money. I think you will find a loyal client base. Just make sure that all the paperwork is in fact in order, but I think you'll do very well. So that's good. Congratulations in advance. All right. Thank you all so much for being here and bringing your questions to the table. You know that you can always contract with me for I see a thing on my shirt and then I can't. You can always contract with me for a reading. You can find that information under each video. Just click the more button if you'd like to purchase a reading. I have a really special guest for us on Sunday, which is why I was a little bit late. I was recording the Sunday conversation, and I think you're going to love this person. I know you already love this person. So, but anyway, thank you. Thank you. I did this because I reached 25,000. I would love to do it again. So the sooner I reach 50,000 subscribers, the sooner we can do this again. All right. So have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on YouTube. Take care.